Oh, it's gonna hurt. Car. Woohoo! What's up? Hello and welcome to a brand new season of Driving and Talking. Considering how barely a handful of people watched the last season, I do think it is a good idea to do another season. But there's a change. Instead of listening to me rambling like an 80-year-old man, as said by someone, on things that annoy me, which are so menial and just boring, I'm gonna try to do topical. So every time I do make an episode, I will talk about the day's headlines in the paper that I read. Now, main headlines today, which I saw in terms of political news. Today's headline. Right, in today's headlines, Mr. Amit Shah, leader of BJP, has finally called all the representatives and members of BJP who have been making less than friendly comments against the minorities in our nation, and has given them a bit of a reminder, a bit of a don't do this, you're gonna cost us. He doesn't call it, I don't know what he talks, I never watched the news anyways. Yes, basically he's giving them a bit of a earful that watch it, you're gonna cost us, this current government, and definitely in the future this will cost us. So while our nation's beloved PM, not mine because I don't like him, but people do, and that's how democracy works. Mr. Modi has remained mostly mum about most of the tragedies and horrible things that have been going on in our country, and things that are being said by his own party members. Which it is important that somebody said something to them from within the BJP leadership. So that's one step forward. In good news, however, Maggie is making a return, and we've all seen the digital films they launched on YouTube. About how Maggie connects to people's lives and the various Maggie stories. And now personally, I have never been that big a fan of Maggie. I do love noodles, and I do love cheap noodles, but I preferred other brands. So I do not completely connect with the people who have suffered the ban of Maggie, but I can understand where it comes from. And I understand that almost 90% of people I know love Maggie. I mean, they survive on it. They absolutely love it, and they are so thrilled that it's finally coming back. And interesting thing about this thing from my perspective would be that the newspaper I read, they put a half page front page ad, like not like half horizontal, half vertically ad, where one of the key lines, one of the main content of the ad announcing that Maggie will be coming back soon is the reassurance to all consumers that Maggie has been tested and been given the green light by all the required bodies who do the food testing, Indian and foreign, and that is 100% of samples have come out clean. And they also thanked everybody for their loyalty and support. Now, while they did not, according to me, they did not manage it the best when the issue did occur, when there were being claims made and Maggie was about to be banned, they stayed mostly mum. But this comeback, these messages, these few little things, what they say, how they say, who all they acknowledge in their messages is very important. And they have done that, they've done it very right. And another thing, again in that same context, what they said, the highlighted two lines of the ad were safe as it always was, to paraphrase, but it mentioned that, so that's also important. Sports news over the weekend. Now in cricket, I'm not unpatriotic, but my current favorite cricketing team internationally is South Africa, and even if they're playing us, I support South Africa. So yay, South Africa won last night. India did choke despite being in a very good position, and for the 2/3 of the one day international yesterday. but we did lose by 18 runs. So I think there was a decent knock by MS Dhoni and good effort by Virat Kohli as well. But in the end, it all came down to the last few overs, and South Africa pulled it out of the hat. So yay, I'm happy. So South Africa is currently leading the series 2-1. Oh, sporting related yet business news. In the next IPL, there is a bid out for 2 new teams in the next IPL tournament, and Pepsi is no longer the main sponsor or organizer for the next few IPLs, and it has been sold to this. I think it's a mobile phone company, Vivo, VIVO, for about 150 crores. So it'll be kind of a renovated IPL. And another decision regarding the case of Rajasthan Royals and CSK, whose players were involved in those various cheating scams, is that the teams themselves will not be banned from the sport, which is great news for local supporters. But the players who were all convicted of being involved in that scam have been banned for life from IPL, is what I heard. Another sports news, yesterday was the Australian MotoGP, and we had possibly one of the best final laps in a MotoGP in decades. I don't know how many years. I've been in for 20 years, so yay! So if you haven't watched it, you should. I'll just put a link to the final lap highlights if I can find it out right here. For the second time this season, Rossi has finished out of the podium, and Jorge Lorenzo did, which means he's still quite in the chase to catch up with Rossi and win the championship. The guy who won was Marc Marquez, who pulled out an amazing win in the last lap. I mean, it was brilliant. It was the front four, where it was amazing. I'll just recount them in the position they finished in. First place, Marc Marquez. Second place, Jorge Lorenzo. Third place, Iannone. I can't pronounce his name right, I'm sorry, but Iannone, the Ducati rider. And fourth place went to Rossi in what was possibly, like I said before, one of the best final laps in MotoGP in quite some time. And also other self-promoting activities, I would like to mention that I have restarted my blog, The Sane Lunatic, and I have begun writing reviews for movies that I watch. And since we have a lot of good movies coming out this last quarter of 2015, I'll probably end up watching a film almost every weekend. So that's a film a week, which means a review a week. So I'll post a link to that in the description and somewhere here. So please check it out, and there will be some more rants and observations as well. So hope you'll enjoy that. And that's all for the first episode. See you guys next time.